Skating fans, it is top 10 time. We got a new top 10 list for you guys ready here today. What is it, Mitch?
We've got the top 10 best long track women of all time.
Pretty cool list.
Pretty good list. Starting off with our honorable mentions, we're going to go with Sang-Hwa Lee. Didn't quite make the top 10, but she is a crazy good skater.
Literally the fastest skater ever.
Still has the world record in the women's 500 meter at 36.36, only 1.7 seconds faster than Victor has ever gone. And not too bad at the 1,000 either, but she also has the fastest 100 time ever at a 10.09. Maybe a little bit of a false start on that race, but still really, really fast.
I am still skating though, so with a bit of luck, I will make it into the women's top 10 of all time list. but she false started, so
yeah, it's about the same.
It adds a second and a half.
Our second person on the honorable mention list is a current skater, Irene Schouten.
Yeah, she basically did half a Haydn at the previous Olympics, grabbing 3 gold medals. So, kind of
got to put her on the list, but it doesn't have the full body of work, as you'll see from the rest of our top 10 list. All of these ladies have a ton of medals and world records and a lot of accolades.
Trust us when we say it's not easy making these lists. It goes for the one we made for the men's, the inline skaters as well. Make sure to watch those. It is super hard. There's so many skaters and so many good skaters. So if there's anyone that you feel like we've forgotten, let us and the rest of the viewers know in the comment section below. We are pretty curious.
Starting at number 10, another current skater. Not sure how she's still going because I feel like she's been around forever. But Martina Sablikova.
Yeah, now, being around forever, she has been 15 seasons, consecutive seasons, she's been in the top 5 of the overall World Cup standings.
Unbelievable.
It's insane. Crazy stat.
That's a really good stat. Yeah. She is consistent. Wow. She's like almost under the radar these days that she's still just like picking up World Cup medals.
Yeah. This is not the first list she's on, actually. She's also on our list for the craziest skating techniques that also worked. Definitely worked.
Most unique skating. She does have 5 world all-around championships to her name and 7 Olympic medals among all of the other athletes.
Pretty cool. She even qualified for the Summer Olympics in time trial cycling.
Yeah.
Decent athlete. Another current skater.
Miho Takagi. Maybe the best skater in the world right now besides Jordan Stolz. And she also has 7 Olympic medals, believe it or not. She's still in her 20s, and she has set she's the only person to go under, for the women, 150, and she's done that 2 times. She has the current world record. She almost has the world record in the women's 1,000 as well. She medaled at the last games in the 500. She is a complete skater.
Yeah, and she is definitely still going strong. She is undefeated in the 1,500 meter in the World Cup this season.
Yeah, crazy.
Not bad.
Up next on our list at number 8, a current skater as well.
But also a previous skater in all the...
But her first medal came in 1994. Yes, that's correct. 94, Claudia Pechstein.
First of 9 Olympic medals.
First of 9 Olympic medals. 3 golds in the 5,000 meter alone. Wildly long career.
Crazy.
Yeah. And would have maybe had more medals.
Yeah.
And would have possibly been higher on our list, but we had to mention and take into account that she did miss time for doping bans.
Yeah, multiple bans, so that takes out some years there. We also don't know if that contributed to the medals she did collect, but
correct.
We'll let that up to you to decide.
But she is still on our list, and we hope that it was all just happenstance that those were the case. But that's why she's number 8 on our list.
Either way, going from 92 to 2024,
she won gold the same year that DJ won.
She won gold the year
That's crazy in my mind.
She won gold the year
He's
I was
old
born.
guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. What year were you born? 96?
97.
97. You could drive a car by then.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh, I was like, what? In 7th place, we have the German Annie Friesinger, yet another German woman on this list. She, most of all, I think she's on the list because she won 12
World Single Distance Championship wins. That'll probably get you on the list of the top 10. She also won World Sprints and World All-Arounds, which is a feat by itself, something that Miho has done. Just doesn't have quite as many World Single Distance Championships. And Friesinger has 5 Olympic medals.
3 of those are gold. Pretty cool.
And the winner of the Oscar Mathisen Award which is the best skater of the year.
Men, women, all distances.
Yeah. Right now, it's going to be pretty tough to win because of Jordan Stolz.
Unless you're Jordan Stolz.
Number 6 on our list is a Canadian, Cindy Clausen. Now, we really have her on this list because she still has the Adels calendar, which is that combination of the 500, 15, 3K, 5K. All of those Samlog, your personal best put together, and she's still number 1. Now, Miho Takagi is close, but the fact that Cindy Clausen is still holding on is really incredible.
It's almost 2 decades since she skated her last time, and somehow she's still in first.
Yeah, and still 6 Olympic medals, world all-around champion, another Oscar Matthiessen Award winner, world records in multiple distances. So,
Definitely deserves to be on my
incredible
list.
career. Yeah. Number 5 on our list is the American Bonnie Blair.
5 times Olympic champion?
5-time gold. I think it actually says that on her license plate of her minivan. 5 times gold. But yeah, Bonnie was a force to be reckoned with back in the day. I think 60-something World Cup wins, but 5 golds and a bronze at the games, and a number of world records in the 500 as well.
And the first woman to break the 39-second barrier in a 500-meter.
Yeah, pretty impressive. On fixed skates, mind you. Yeah. And she still does skate. Her daughter skates, and she still skates quite well, might I add. But I love the story about Bonnie. Just a little side note that at her first game she only had like 10 people there, and then each game that she went to, her Blair bunch, they called it, grew like tenfold and just had tons of people at the next game. So Bonnie's great and been great for the sport ever since.
Yeah. Yep. Next up on the list is Gunde Niemann-Sternemann, another German skater here in the list. She is pretty incredible when it comes to results. She has 8 Olympic medals, and she also won the world's all-around championships 8 times. On top of that, she got the Oscar Matthiessen Award, so again, best skater, men and women, in general, 3 times.
Yeah, and 98 World Cup wins. So the most winningest World Cup skater ever, and by a mile still. I think second place was Bonnie at 60-something. So 98 World Cup wins is just mind-blowing these days. But yeah, she's number 4 on our list.
Yeah. Fun fact, the ice skating rink in Erfurt, where there's World Cups being held, is actually named after her, and her daughter Victoria is currently skating for Germany.
You gotta think some good genetics there.
No pressure.
Up next, number 3 on our list is Karen Inki Kanya. She has a ton of accolades, world sprints and world all-around championship wins many times each. In addition to world records in a plethora, 4 different distances, she had the world record at different times. That's a pretty cool. Pretty tough one to beat.
8 Olympic medals also, just to be mentioned. So,
Yep.
Wow, quite a feast.
Yeah, 5 world all-arounds, 6 world sprints. Just hard to believe that you can win that many times across the board.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we were pretty amazed when a person manages to just participate in both all-rounds and sprints, and this is just a whole new level.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it, is just being able to qualify for world sprints and world all-arounds, even if they're completely different years, is a feat in of itself. But to win it 5 and 6 times each is a pretty wild stat.
You still got work to do, Jordan. Second place, we have Lydia Skoblikova. And before we go into the details, let's just listen to Bonnie Blair here tell you a little bit about why she is second on that list.
Hi, Bonnie Blair here, chatting about the female athletes, best of all time. Names that come to me before even my era was Lydia Skoblikova, Russian, 6 gold, I don't know what it was total, but she was a rock star. And then kind of more in my era, somebody I looked up to was Karen Kanya. She was also Karen Enke, probably depends on what her name was at the time, but 2 pretty great skaters. There's obviously a ton, but those were the first 2 that came to mind.
Number 2 on our list, thanks Bon, is Lydia Skoblikova.
Yep. 6 Olympic medals. Not that impressive, but what is impressive is
Not that impressive. I love that. But to be number 2 on the list, relatively, she was the first to do a Haydn, if you will. She won all the individual races at the Olympics, at one Olympics. All 4 golds.
That is crazy. That was actually a thing that we debated, the two of us, before making this list. What is more impressive? Is it more impressive to really dominate like Sablikova did in the beginning of the list over a decade or even more? Or is it more impressive being a skater like Lydia here, being able to win everything within a few weeks, actually?
Right, and also she had world records in 3 different distances to add to it. So, that's a tough one, though, deciding what is the most impactful. And I think we talked about like Cindy Clausen was higher on the list because of her Adels calendar accolades and like the fact that it is still, standing the test of time, versus maybe Pechstein has more medals. So, yeah. That's why we've got our list. And at number 1 on our list, we just couldn't ignore the 13 Olympic medals, Irene Wüst.
More Olympic medals than any man or any woman in any winter sport.
Yeah. So, I don't know how you can't have her as number 1 as a speed skater.
Yeah.
But Wüst, she's somebody who at World Cups, to me, was underwhelming in comparison to how good she was at the Olympics, kind of like what we've talked about with Ariana Fontana on the short track side. But at the right moments, at the World Championships and at the Olympics, she was always up there at the top, and in races that we did not expect to. 1,000, 15, 3K was her bread and butter, but pretty good across the spectrum.
15 times world single distance champion, also pretty crazy. But like you just said, I think we almost counted her out to even qualify for these last Olympics, where she ended up winning the whole thing. And that was not the first time. She just is really good when it matters.
Yep. 7 world all-around championships to add to that. In Heerenveen, Tialf, they've named one of the corners after her. The other corner is Sven. Arguably maybe the best speed skater ever.
Yeah.
Man or woman.
Speaking of that, we also made a similar top 10 actually for the men's. So top 10 for the best male on-track speed skaters ever of all time. So if you enjoyed this one, I'm pretty sure you're going to like that one too. So check it out on our channel.
Thanks for listening. And if you guys think of anything else that should have been, anybody else that should have been on our list, be sure to add their name in the comments below. We probably missed somebody that, could have been up there.
Yeah. Let us know and stay tuned for more.